welcome back to another edition of our ZorZooms series. We are Matt and Jennifer of the Franchising Company, interviewing franchise brands across the country to deliver information that you want to know about these brands that aren't always available, online through Google. So today we are excited to chat with another husband and wife duo, Aimee and William with Sugar Sugar.
Hey guys, long time no talk. Good to see you again, but tell us a little about Sugar Sugar. You know, we love stories. How did this all start?
Well, it started, goodness, 12 years ago now,
Yeah,
I guess 13.
so, yeah.
It honestly started because I'm a consumer too. And I was looking for a hair removal solution that would work for me. And shaving just isn't much fun. And waxing, well, not the best solution for me. Was causing ingrowns, just hurt really badly. A friend of mine told me about sugar and did some research and really honestly looked at it nationally to see if there's a lot of sugaring places in the country. And after becoming a consumer or a client of a woman in Seattle, went to her for almost 8 years.
Yeah.
And then we looked at it nationally and thought, goodness, there's just not a lot of sugaring places in the country, and got to work. So little by little, we started building what became Sugar Sugar. It's a true sort of kitchen table dream, if you will. And it just found its way.
Yeah. Started as a consumer driven brand where she, as a customer, just knew she needed a niche, or there was a niche.
There
I
was,
guess.
yeah.
Wanted something different.
Yeah. And we were moving to Arizona, and we thought we would love to start a business, and Sugar Sugar was it. I just felt like it would resonate with a lot of men and women just because I had walked the same path.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little about the products. I know that we've talked in the past and you made me a believer, but why is it a superior product over traditional wax?
Sure. We're definitely sugar strong. And so the sugar itself is just sugar, lemon, and water. It's 100% clean. You can actually eat it. You can put it in your hot tea and it won't hurt you a bit. So imagine that on your skin. It's just a lot more delicate, I guess, for people with sensitive skin or people that are just tired of the wax game, where wax can be full of different resins and toxins. I mean, a lot of wax are different colors. So our sugar is really, really clean. And I think that that has really done well for us. People are looking for a cleaner solution these days. So yeah, sugar strong for sure. 70% of the day we're sugaring.
I love it. So I guess with that being said, do you offer other services other than just sugar waxing?
We do.
We do. Yeah, we have a full gamut. When we started, we knew it was important to kind of round out our selections. So we have an organic airbrush spray tan. The real advantage that we have there over waxing is that you probably shouldn't get a spray tan immediately following a waxing. A lot of our clients come in, do a full leg and a bikini. They can get a spray tan right there, and it actually is exfoliated the skin, makes for a better spray tan.
Yep.
So it's a beautiful service with that one. On top of it, we do 7 or 8 organic vegan facials that we have. A couple of them sort of match up with the sugaring. One, we remove the vellus hair for women, the sideburns hair. And so it goes along really well with the sugaring itself. So everything kind of works in conjunction. The last one is we call our brow science. It's sort of our brow. I guess maybe you talk about brow science.
Nod to brows because we're slightly brow obsessed at Sugar Sugar. And so it's just a category that we've sort of designed around the artistry of a brow. And from brow sugaring to tinting to even laminations, we do sort of everything that would create a beautiful brow. I think something that's really special about the services we offer is we knew we didn't want to offer 2,000 different things. I think when you have a place and we're offering all those things and a client books, item 1,010, for us, we thought, when was the last time that service was performed and how well is it going to be performed this time? So we really wanted to hone in on the things that complemented each other and sort of made Sugar Sugar a destination. So we do 4 things, and it's definitely done well.
It's been great for ticket prices too, and for client relations.
Nice. And then do you sell retail?
We do. The retail story is sort of a fun story.
Yeah, well, it's gonna
Yeah.
be tough to keep this one a little bit shorter, but
I know,
we'll do
we're
it.
trying.
Yeah.
I swear.
So,
You're
so the retail itself, we started, I guess probably 8 or 9 years ago. We'd had a number of retail brands that Aimee had brought in, great brands along the way. But one of three things always happened. They always changed their price, changed the ingredients, or brought in competitors in the market, or advertised themselves online. And we felt like we were buying the product, and it was sitting on our shelves, and our clients would go home, read about that product, sign up for their email, and then find out twice a year that there was a big sale or something like that. So they're kind of cannibalizing us. So what we did was develop our own in-house line that's proprietary. We just went directly to the co-packers, which was a big advantage to us, and kind of cut out the wholesalers. Makes for better margins as well.
Yeah, those margins we can not only obviously for our brick and mortars, but those margins now we can pass along to our franchisees, which is huge. And then they can count on the fact that we're not changing an ingredient without notice, that we're not having this huge sale that is going to affect them. And another thing that we do at Sugar Sugar that's special, I think, is that if, let's say you're in St. John's, Florida, which we have a location there, and you and your team introduce a product to a new client, that client can't come in for whatever reason, but decides to reorder one of our sugar scrubs from her home, and it's shipped there and the whole thing, we'll notice that zip code near and close to that location, and we'll give a little bit back to the actual store for introducing her to a Sugar product. So yeah,
But
kind of a fun thing.
never selling it on Amazon, never
No.
competing with our franchisees.
No.
Okay, so they do get a portion of the online sales that come from within their market.
Correct.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. So I know it's a different technique than the traditional waxing as well. Tell me a little bit about your employees. Are they already trained? Do you train them? Do they have licensing? Where do you find your employees?
Sure. So they are all estheticians. So they have gone to school for aesthetics, and depending on the state, it can be a 4-month course up to a year. So it just depends on what the state deems, for the education. But they do come in as licensed estheticians, and then once they go through the interview process and they end up in our world, we actually put them through a second round of training, because most aesthetic schools are not teaching sugaring at this time. Wax is really easy to do. You lay it on, take it off. Sugaring is definitely more of a proficiency skill. And we have a way that we want to sugar at Sugar Sugar. So we're quite particular. And so one of the things that we're really proud of is Sugar Sugar University, where not only do we have an education system built through the back-end portal of the website that Will created, just how we sugar, the communication with the clients, all of it takes about 40 hours to become a Sugar Sugar esthetician, which we also feel is quite competitive in the market. When we first started, it would take me a minute to get somebody on the floor sugaring the way I wanted them to. But we knew if we were going to be competitive that we needed to get that time down and get them sugaring and seeing clients sooner.
It means so much to us that we have 2 full-time staff dedicated to franchisee training. One reaches out bi-weekly to all of our franchisees, looks at all their numbers for each of their estheticians, and kind of walks them through advantages that we see as far as their ticket prices and their repeat bookings.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how many employees or estheticians, sugaring experts do you recommend they start with?
When they initially start, I would say, depending on the hours they choose, if they're going to be a 9 to 8, or we kind of look at all of those things. I would say anywhere from 4 to 6 when they initially start.
I guess what they call reception. On busy days, we have what we call a front of house. That person is always an esthetician. It's usually somebody in training. And they're there to answer the phone, but we're not a big fan of losing hours just at reception, just having somebody sit there and smile.
Yeah.
We want them up and moving around the store, kind of cleaning, looking busy, all those things that are important, selling product.
Yeah, being a part of the day. And it's also important to us
Well
that when
said.
someone calls in, if they do have a skin question, that there's someone with the knowledge to answer it. If they're having a histamine reaction, if all of a sudden there's, just whatever, a little bit of redness or something like that. I mean, we're dealing with skin. It's nice to have somebody that can answer those questions right up front.
So talk to me a little bit about I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So talk to me a little bit about this, the stores themselves. What kind of space are you looking for? What square footage? Do you help with site selection? What's the average build out cost?
Sure.
Those kind of things.
Yeah,
Yes.
1,200 is the sweet spot.
Mhm.
We're in a nice place because we can go down to 950 up to 1,550. We like to use the rooms in the stores like building blocks, so we can work with something that's already there. We don't have to have gray shell, something to work off of, which is really great and a real advantage. Another nice thing is we do a great job. We use Catalyst for our site selection. They work with some of the biggest of big brands in the industry, which is a huge benefit for us because those landlords will call back. And we know that's been a disadvantage that some folks have had in the past. It was important to us to find a big brand. We fit in nicely with them because we don't step on any toes and there's room for growth within our company. So it's a pretty symbiotic relationship. And they're terrific. So far, what we've experienced is, I think, above expectation somehow, which says something because I ask a lot.
I like it.
Awesome. So is it a membership model?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, so do you have a pre-sale program before opening? How do you get members, and what can an owner expect when they open their doors?
Sure. So let's start with the first part. Yes, we are a membership model. We didn't open our doors that way, but we've learned along the way that it just makes sense. So when we really started thinking about how we wanted to present memberships to our clients, what we didn't want was to have some membership where it's $129 or something crazy at the beginning of the month, because if you're having a bad month, the first call you're going to make is to that store and say, oh my God, cancel it. I can't do that. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So we wanted something that was going to keep people coming back in, but that was cheaper than Netflix, So our Sugar Society is only $9.99, and it gives the client 15% off of all services and products, and they get a quarterly perk. So a free brow or a free spray tan or something like that. And it's a 6-month commitment. From there, we took it a step further because we are Brazilian, we're sugar strong and Brazilian strong. We're doing a lot of Brazilian sugars all day long. And so we knew we needed one focused on our bikini sugaring. So we also have that one where that one's $56 a month, and they come in and they redeem their Brazilian monthly or bikini classic, whichever one they choose.
Yeah. Another nice advantage of them too is being in Scottsdale, we had a lot of mentors in franchising, some with success stories and some with non-success stories. And one of the things we learned was those expensive membership models are a tough conversion. A lot of places that had to have a dedicated converter up front or something, or there was some staff that just weren't good at it, especially within the aesthetics field. There's not a lot of folks that do that service and are also salespeople. So a $10 conversion is fantastic. We sell them out all day and almost out of everybody that comes in. So it's been a huge benefit for the company.
It's almost like you have to hire a closer.
No, they
Come
did.
in.
Yeah,
Like, this is happening today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you're doing it. I like that.
Well, it gets them to come back in regularly.
It does, it's just enough. It's just enough a reminder. And I'll tell you this, we don't lose a lot of people from our membership model, because even if they don't come in for 3 or 4 months, life got busy, they did some traveling, they don't cancel it because it's $10, but that's still $40 that the company took in, During COVID, we had to shut down our brick and mortars for just over 3 months. It was a huge compliment to who we are and what we do during that time. But at the same time, business-wise, not a single one of our members canceled during that time.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good for you.
it meant a lot. Yeah. So once we were open, they flooded back in because, there'd been hair that hadn't been addressed. But, yeah. It was a good thing.
So, talking about the investment itself, can you just kind of break down what that initial investment range looks like? Once a, franchisee signs an agreement, how quickly are they typically up in operation?
Absolutely. Yeah. So today is day one with the brand new FDD. So it's a little bit of a pop quiz for me. I'll try to give you the high end and low end once again on it. Depending on how your space was left is really going to be the largest variable in what you're up against build wise, because as we all know right now, materials and labor are the toughest thing to come by. The buy-in I think right now is, what's the low end?
150, 140, something like that.
I think it's 146 this year, and all the way up to like 329, depending. We're seeing them come in all told in the low twos or upper 100s, from somewhere from like 180 to like 220. But as you both know so well, it's important to put a worst case scenario on there in the threes in case everything goes wrong, because we never want to we always want to under promise and over deliver.
That's quite a bit less than a lot of the other salon type models. So that's good to see. So I guess the build out's pretty simple, right?
Yeah, no 220s in the rooms, no water in any room specifically. Shout out to New Jersey.
Yeah, other than Jersey.
Yeah,
Jersey,
to have water
yeah,
in
you have to
running
have a
rooms.
sink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that causes a problem anytime there's the drainage. You're up against cutting into your concrete. But otherwise, it's a pretty simple thing. Just some sheetrock, some retaining walls, typically a suspended ceiling, over the top, and that's it.
Got you. And I guess there's no crazy equipment that would add to the price too, since it's, okay, that makes sense.
And then time to open. So from signing a franchise agreement until they're up and operational, what's kind of your average timeline?
Yeah, we're seeing anywhere from a little bit under 3 months ish, all the way up to 6 or 9, depending on the space that they want and the availability within their market. It's great having Dave at Caliber again, or Catalyst again. Shout out to Dave. But that's I think the largest variable. So I would say somewhere between slightly under 3 or 3 up to 9 at the very, very most. A little bit of that was, I think, one that took the longest was we had a little bit of trouble because there was a shortage in the territory that the franchisee was in.
Mm.
But that's really the only reason. Should go pretty quickly. The build is simple.
Yeah,
So the biggest thing, and I know that's just coming up, is the ramp up as far as the sales go.
Okay. All right. Well, describe your ideal franchisee. Somebody who are you looking for? What's that avatar?
I mean,
You said this so well the other day too, like about 2 weeks ago. You just said it.
Give it to us.
I am like, let me go back 2 weeks. So much has happened. Honestly, we have a beautifully diverse set of franchisees right now. We have moms, we have people that have done other franchises and just needed to switch gears. We definitely find people that have been in the food industry and they want out of that industry and they're looking to come to beauty. I don't know. We
know who we resonate with, I think, mostly. And it's the folks that kind of see it on the consumer element first and kind of cut through the clutter and are sort of like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And those are kind of who we resonate with. That's probably the balance of our franchisees. Either moms, empty nesters, recent divorcees, that kind of thing, like folks that are looking to, folks that are looking to restart.
Yeah, I do think we find people that you have to understand where this market is heading. It's sort of been
Not as known about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is moving in a direction where people, it started with the food industry where people started becoming label readers and asking questions and what am I putting in my mouth and how is this going to affect my body? It just made sense that it was going to make its way to beauty, and it's here now. People are flipping over things and wanting to know, what am I putting on my skin today? And so that person works really well for Sugar because it's who we are. It's how we started. It isn't something that we decided to play catch up on because our neighbors were doing it. It's how we opened our doors. And so we definitely do well with the people that want to know and are ready to sort of join that sort of clean beauty revolution, I guess.
Yeah.
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 I
So,
like that because that definitely resonates to your
Mhm.
point. It's becoming a much bigger topic on what we're putting on or in our bodies and
Absolutely. Yeah, it
ramifications.
should be. It should be, you know, I mean, and we're vegan, we're cruelty free. We just did an event last weekend to we have a foundation called Sugar Snouts because we love our pups. And so we started a nonprofit, and the proceeds from that event went to help local shelters in the area. Like those things matter, and people care. And so we're quite proud of that part of Sugar. So when we're looking for people that are considering sugar, it is something that we ask, you know,
I
because
thought,
it does matter.
yeah, I thought a second ago when she said that we're vegan, I thought she was making some promise that I didn't know about at home. I was like, this is news to me. Oh, okay. Where are you taking this? The business is, we are not.
Said, stop the interview.
Yeah, I don't put that.
that's so funny. Okay, what about semi-passively versus active owners? Do you allow for semi-passive ownership?
We do,
We
yeah,
do.
yeah. It would depend on, we have a couple right now that
Mhm.
are coming through the program that should be signing, I think, in the next 10 or 12 days after the cool off period, the due diligence period. And I think that it's something that we've done or we can do. We have one in Florida that does it, and she does it very, very well. But mostly it's because she also wants to do some aesthetic work there.
That was, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Yeah, no, she wants to kind of work in the business as well. It was something we at first were a little uneasy about, but she has somebody really, really capable on the front of house. And at the end of this, it's really about doing what you know best.
So the owner or the general manager in the semi-passive aspect, can they be one of the sugar
Mhm.
tech, whatever they're, what did you say?
Sugar, yeah, sugarist, yeah, they
Okay.
can be. Yes, they can be. Yeah, I mean, any business is going to demand an owner's attention, you know? So we need to make sure we don't want to just set it and forget it. We care too much about the success of each of our locations for that to happen. So if we hear that coming from somebody that we're going through the process with, it probably wouldn't be our first choice. But they can absolutely, if they put the right people in place, like anything, it'll run, you know, it'll run and it'll run well.
Yeah, we all have strengths and weaknesses, and when we started doing this, we decided that it would be important to drill down on everybody's strengths and allow them to flourish in those areas and provide them the other solutions around what they do. It makes for a better business day, a more enjoyable day, and folks really get to contribute in their business in the way that they know.
Perfect.
So, obviously the audience listening and watching us here today are probably in the buying mood for something in that health and beauty space, right? And there are a lot of options in that space. So, talk to them about why sugar over these other options.
Sure. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
You want to start this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We started as brick-and-mortar owners 11 or 12 years ago. And at the time, the market was kind of the Wild West. Nobody knew what this was or even how to start it. We didn't start it with the intent of franchising it. We built the franchising around the brick and mortar, firstly. I think that's one thing that really separates us is it was never necessarily intended to franchise until about 2019. It was when we really started deciding that we could scale it out or we should scale it out. So we know the inside and outside of a business in a way that very, very few could or would. Franchisees get to work with the people that know the business in us. We're not absentee franchisors. And so we're always there to answer those questions. I think a nice advantage right now is anybody that was aspiring to become a franchisee could ask any of our current franchisees, not the good ones, not the most successful ones, not the ones who are, not going to say the ugly stuff. They can call any of them. All of our franchisees are very happy with the work we do. You want to talk about it from like the consumer end, I guess?
Well, I was just going to say that I think something that separates us is the amount of support that we offer. We've been in the industry now for a while. We've met a lot of franchisees from different franchise concepts, franchisors. And when you hear them talk, there is a lot of sort of you sign the licensing agreement and you're left on your own. And to me and Will, that just isn't sugar. I mean, we have a solution for everything, from architect to build to site selection. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. We have somebody that knows sugar and understands the ins and outs of how we want things done. You don't have to use them, but we definitely have them. So I think the amount of support that we offer our franchisees is something that definitely separates us.
You were on calls yesterday with two of the franchisees about the point of sale software, just working through the point of sale elements, because the first of the month was coming up and there was going to be a membership draw.
Yeah,
So she wanted to make sure everything was efficient for the membership draw and they were getting everything they needed.
I did.
So
Yeah.
we're there. We're going to be there too along the way.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. I love all that. What about from the consumer side? So somebody that's looking to have the service done.
Yeah.
How did it you?
Of course. Well, we talked about it a little bit. I do think people care about what's going on in their bodies. And so that's gonna speak loudly to someone that is asking those sort of questions. I think when a client comes in, we work really hard at making sure that we are sort of that full circle. From the moment you walk in, welcome to Sugar, you're greeted with a smile. And the entire process, we really educate our girls. There isn't a place where you get to just kind of check out and not pay attention to that full circle experience. During the service, you know, they are experiencing sugaring right away. I mean, we haven't really gone through all the beautiful things about it, but it doesn't go on hot as opposed to wax. So it actually makes our liability a little bit less every month.
Yeah.
You don't need sticks or muslin. So it's much more environmentally sound.
Muzzling? Like, what is muzzling?
Oh, it's the stuff that, you know, when they put wax on you and then they put this like piece of almost like paper stuff and they rip that. Well, when they rip that, they throw that entire thing in the trash. When you get a ball of sugar, let's say I grab a little ball of sugar, I could do your full face and your brows with that piece of sugar. So it's much more environmentally sound.
Interesting. Okay.
Cleaner too. Yeah, no double dipping that comes from it as well.
Using less product to do this waxing. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're using less product. The sugar, it's so sticky and effective that we can actually apply it against the hair growth, but we extract it out naturally. So less breakage, less ingrowns, less follicle stretching. One of the big things that I learned when I started to sort of deep dive into this world is, so I book a wax treatment. I go in, I pay for the wax. On the way out, they're trying to sell me a serum on the counter to fix the issue they may have just caused me in the room that I paid for. It just doesn't, there's something going on there. Sugar, yes, we want you to do some home care. You can do it with a sugar scrub. You don't need to buy some anti-ingrown serum. We don't sell it on our floor. There's no need, because the service and the product itself already lend itself to just a better experience post. Once you're home, if you're hydrating and things like that, you should be fine. And we'll see you in 4 or 5 weeks.
And all that said, then the whole thing is built around Aimee and the culture of the brand, because we knew there's a lot of service providers. And I know that at one point you guys were in the beauty business, or you have experience in the beauty business. I think one of the things that really gets lost is being nice to your consumers, being nice to your customers. And even though it might not be your client, if you're a service provider, you say hello, you walk her to the restroom, you make sure the place is clean. So our staff is always kind of preparing for the next client to come in, because that's the stuff that matters.
Gotcha. I love that.
All right. And so how many locations do you have operating today? How many of those are franchised? Do you have any corporate locations? And then what does the future growth look like over the next 12 to 24 months?
Yeah. So we have 7 right now locations. 4 of those are franchisees. 3 of them are corporate. We have 5 more franchises set to open by July, maybe the end of July. Then you should know we shut off the active looking for franchisees last October through December, because I wanted to make sure that we could provide everything that we needed for the first 10 franchisees that we had. We're doing great with those. So we started actively advertising again in February of this year. That's going really well. We've got another 6, I think, right now in the funnel. We'll probably close 4 of them here yet sometime in May. And we're hoping for 20 this year. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, probably shut it back down, make sure that we can control those, and then get the process moving.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That is awesome. Okay, well, we love stories. So what is your favorite success story? With your Z's, with any of them, just
Yeah.
something
I
that's
would
stands-
say,
I
yeah,
think
Queen Creek.
I think
Yeah.
Queen Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen Creek, Arizona. She was a mom raising 3 girls and hadn't worked in a while. Husband was doing his thing. And she just had this little entrepreneur bug in her that she just wanted to do something to call her own, and did her research and landed on us. And her name is Jessica. And she signed and got to work. And you could see, I mean, it's new. There's going to be things that you don't know, that you need to learn, that you're intimidated by. That's business 101. But the fact that she kept showing up every day and making it her own, Queen Creek is killing it right now. We're so proud of that store. I look every day because obviously we're Oz behind the curtain and we have access to everybody's appointment books, and they're busy. They are busy. They are seeing clients, signing up memberships. She's rocking it, and
She's
we're very proud of
She's
her.
rivaling corporate stores already, and she's been open since October.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah, there's days where I'm like, I don't know if I love this, but I also don't love it.
Like, wait a minute, what is she doing? What do I
Yeah,
do?
yeah, exactly. There's never good news when you're a franchisor. It's like, that's great, she's doing great. Why aren't we doing better?
Yeah. No, it's wonderful to see. It really is. So it's exciting. We're excited for her. So
Well, I've been talking to you for a couple years now, and I've been watching you guys grow. And I told Matt, I say this about just about every brand I love, but I want one. So maybe these days we'll get to do that. But thank you for taking the time to do this, and hopefully we will bring some really great clients your way, or candidates your way soon. And do you have anything else?
No. Thank you guys.
Thank you. We'll be out your way for training in the north part of Charlotte, and when that happens, we'll look you up, get you
Okay.
out,
Sounds
treat you
good.
dinner.
Sounds good. All right, guys.
Thank you so much for
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your
inviting
time.
us to do this.
Absolutely.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye now.